Today, we will be discussing women's sexual health and the big O with well-known gynecologist, Dr. Meenakshi Ahuja.
Yeah, the big O. Today, we will be in conversation with someone who I am personally very fond of, Dr. Meenakshi Ahuja, a well-known gynecologist and obstetrician. She has chaired several sessions in various gynecological forums and is a renowned personality in local and international circuits. We had initially done She Roars segment with Dr. Meenakshi, and where we had discussed menopause, and then there was another session regarding teenage sexual health. Today, we will be discussing some topics regarding women's sexual health and the big O. It's wonderful to see you again, Meenakshi. Welcome to Talk Today.
It's always my pleasure to be here. And it's really nice that you think of topics out of the box. And, actually, it's like getting things out of the closet when we talk about things openly on this forum. So it's really an enjoyable conversation.
Great.
Yes. Thank you. Hope everybody enjoys it. We do.
we do a lot. So, Simrit, on August 8th, it was National Orgasm Day.
Well, National Orgasm Day?
Yes.
What's that?
I don't know, which according to me is a very odd name, but let's talk about why we need these, National or International Orgasm Day. Meenakshi, can you please explain or help us why we need such day?
So actually, if you realize that, women's orgasm or pleasure was never talked about earlier, and it's probably we talk about it only in the last few years. So there was this gentleman in Brazil who actually felt that, he owed his wife some O's, and he said that, we should bring it up in the forefront. And so they called it the International Orgasm Day. And now there are countries like even the US and the UK, which actually celebrate other dates probably, but as National Orgasm Days, probably to get more awareness. And I think it's very important for women to realize that it's their right to have orgasms, and the guys or their partners, whoever they may be, to realize that it's their duty to provide them.
Great. So it's not, you're so right. It's more about awareness. So it's not like, great, go out and have an orgasm, but it's not about that, but it's more about creating this awareness about sexual, satisfaction, probably more than anything.
Absolutely. See, what happens is that, when there's a sex between a couple, I'm talking about that traditional picture of a male and a woman. So it culminates with the male having his orgasm or ejaculation and having his sexual satisfaction. Unfortunately, women's satisfaction was never talked about, and it was not even considered important. In the last few years, I've actually seen women who've come up to me and said that, and actually said, I've had a patient who was about to get married and she was with someone else earlier, and now she was getting married to some other boy. And she said, I don't know how, but he does this boy I'm now going to get married to and spend the rest of my life with. He doesn't realize that it's important for me to, get pleasure also. And I've experienced it before, so I know it does exist, you see. How can you bring it up to him that he needs to work on his game? Because it is very important to me. So a lot of women all over the world may have even lived without orgasm without even realizing that it's a very important part.
Yeah, isn't it true? When we do the whole female, you know what I'm talking about, the female circumcision or whatever they do, the what's it called? I'm so sorry. I'm
genital. Actually, we call it genital.
Yeah, right. Genital. So that was done so that women don't, we're talking about really traditional, and I can say it, nobody's holding me, but backward societies who believe that this is the general genital female mutilation was a part of it, just so that they would not, because it was not their right. And this is just so much awareness. Sorry, go ahead.
I've seen African girls who come to us in the hospital who have just a flat area there, and they were circumcised at birth, and it was with corrosives. So it's really, it looks like a torture, definitely. But like you said, the ethos behind it all, the principle behind it, that women don't have a right to feel sexual pleasure, I think it was absolutely unwarranted, but it happens even today.
Yes, that I also know. And it's not just African. it happens a lot of places where they don't talk about it. And it's unfortunate because this is right back where women weren't allowed to vote. They're not allowed to like step out of the house. So there's so many things that go hand in hand. And the more we get, this is just creating we're all like from the animal planet, we deserve this. As we evolve, we deserve this. So there's so much awareness needed. And the more we talk about it, the more we'll know. If we speak to our mothers and their generation, they'll think you guys talk way too much about sex and sexual topics. And this too much knowledge is not good. But the fact is, too much knowledge is key. And as our expectations from relationships increase, our expectations from sex increases too, just like this example that you were giving. So let's discuss. What role does mental, emotional, and physical health play in a woman's ability to achieve orgasm? Like what part of the non-sexual part of the relationship works towards the sexual part of the relationship? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. So, traditionally and always I've said, for women, sex is in the head, while for men, it's extremely physical. So I think it is, if you're not in the game, it's to have mindless sex for women. Now, probably sometimes it is possible, but otherwise, I think there is an important role in that, if you're having sex with someone, I'm not talking about having orgasm with toys and all, which again is the right of every woman. Because I think that, that's one, that for women, there is a lot of thing going in the head also. So they need to be taken care of mentally also. They need to be a good place to achieve orgasm. Now, the other way that you said that how important it is to your physical, emotional, mental health, definitely it's very, very important. Sex may not be the most, again, I mean about women pleasure, may not be the most important thing in a relationship, but it is an extremely important thing. And usually if the sex is good, the relationship is good.
Yeah, I guess men needs to keep the women happy, and that happiness will lead to a happy sex.
That it's not just the guy's thing. You have to communicate that, look, your relationship has to be solid enough that you communicate that, look, this is working for me and this is not working for me. So it's up to the women to help whoever their partner is, guide them where this is working and it's not working. And if the relationship is solid, which means communication is strong enough, you can talk to each other about it. Absolutely. If you're having sex and not at the guy who's having sex with you, it might work out nicely. You got to relax and, that
I agree with you. I think for women also, it's a very important thing that if your partner spends time and effort in seeing that your pleasure is achieved, you feel that that you're worth it. It's a very strong sense of validation. He feels it's important. So women may be having sex without even enjoying it. But when you know that your partner is spending time and effort wanting to make you happy, I think it's very important. It's a great validation.
And then that works towards your non-sexual part of the relationship too, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a circle.
Yeah, it's vice versa actually. So, Meenakshi, I've heard that, many women are unable to orgasm. So my question is that even without orgasm, can't some women be sexually satisfied? I mean, sex is not just about that big O, or is it?
So orgasm, like I said, is a very, very important thing. Unless, you see, women have, I guess if you've not achieved it, you don't know what you're looking for. That's one. And it might not be just your G-spot or otherwise. There are other ways of getting an orgasm. There's clitoral orgasm and vaginal orgasm also. So the point is that something might work for you. And so some women, I guess, like you said, that traditional image of women having sex just to please the man and they're getting satisfaction from that. It's all right. I mean, what works for you is okay. But I think that for women who know what orgasm is and who have experienced it, I think it's very important that the male or the partner puts in that little effort into the relationship and into sex, that women pleasure is achieved. It is important. I would personally feel it's important. And as a doctor also, let me put it like that.
For like Meenakshi I had to research a little bit before when we were talking about this. But is it true that women can, kind of experiment with themselves, and if they see what they if they can figure out their own bodies, which is a big thing that's lacking. So women themselves don't know what's giving them pleasure. Maybe if they, experiment with themselves, they'll know what gives them pleasure, and they can help with achieving that orgasm through their partner too. Is that true or no? It's just a layperson's easy point.
I think very true, because see, like I said, I'm really happy we are having this conversation, because still in society, there are, in India especially, there are many girls who've not even tried experimenting or feeling themselves before they've got married or into a relationship. So that's why, like you said, does it work without it? Yes, it does. If you don't know what you're missing, I guess it's with everything. If you don't know what you're missing, how do you know how good it is?
What you want. So, yeah, exactly.
We talk about now openly. I remember when we were kids, I'm much older than you are, but when we were kids, no one used to talk about sex, right? Even that sex ed chapter was never discussed in class, leave alone with your teacher, leave alone at home. So the point is that at least now, probably for the last 8-10 years, people accept that, yes, it's boys masturbate when they're in school, and they talk, you have even this movie which has come in now. They talk about boys, having, trying to please themselves or otherwise while in school. And this starts in their teenage years. No one used to talk about women's sex. Yes. So, or pleasure. Yes. So, or women exploring themselves or experimenting or trying to see what pleases them. It was never considered important enough. Sort of sexist, but that's the truth. I guess now with OTT platforms and, you seeing these things, we pay people, and even my patients feel comfortable talking about it and discussing. Not all of them, but yes, at least the trend has changed. And probably things are coming out more in the open. You see this. And like you said, your mother says, Patani, why you people talk so much about sex? But like I said, it's important. And I'm very happy that, we can discuss it on even an open platform like this.
So was it movie a couple of years ago, Veere the Wedding, where the Kareena Swara Bhaskar's like, and then the guy was like, you gotta go, like, you can't live with me anymore. What the hell? I mean, it was hilarious because women all over were like,
yes, I agree. And I recently watched this song. I was really surprised and I was happy that things are coming up. So there's this love story. So there's one of the story where Neena Gupta is there. She's a grandmother of a girl. And the girl is about to get married, families are happy. She said, no, I would not agree until before you get the, what do you call it, Mount Fuji. You're like, what was that? You're like, you have to. And then parents are looking at, you want them to have sex before marriage? What, Ma, what are you talking about? Like, oh my God, this is, I guess a grandmother should be like that. Okay, baby, go first to experiment, then you have to decide whether you would be happy sexually with the person. So
really, even on Instagram, if you see, there are a lot of influencers who talk very openly about women pleasure, and there are a lot of sites where toys are available openly now, thankfully, and women get that exposure and option, to pick up stuff. Because otherwise, I think a few years back, they were kind of labeled or misnamed as massagers and everything, or you had to go abroad to pick up stuff. But like I said, to each their own, but at least that right should not be infringed on, that, are not available. And to assume that men's pleasure is a statement and for women, it's a question, I don't think it's fair.
That's not fair.
And, it's just not about, like, as you mentioned, toys, at times, men get offended. Oh, you're using toys. It's like, I'm not satisfying you. Are you not happy with me? Somewhere there's always such things that come up, and somehow that is one of the reasons that this thing has always like
male ego and their complications of the topic.
Yeah, that's really.
They can watch porn all they want, see the magazines, but no, like, God forbid, women should do that. Anyways, So going back, are there certain things women can do at home or certain types of exercises which can help with sexual satisfaction, or making it something less than, oh, we just start having sex because it's the done thing in a relationship, the woman's burden?
So more than exercises, I think you need to be very clear that you are looking for pleasure. because I think even without exercises, you can manage to have orgasm. It's not that it's necessarily required. I think a very important point Simrit brought up is experimenting, or at least feeling yourself, understanding your body parts and understanding what makes you happier. That's very important. And exploring, probably reading up also, because women are not aware that, there is a clitoris, there's clitoral stimulation. It's possible that with vaginal sex, you don't get an orgasm, but there are other ways that you can. Similarly, there are a lot of other options that you could be doing with your partner and not just traditional sort of sex, and see what pleases you. Be patient, but definitely reading, being informed helps. Being fit will always help you. Being active will always help you. Kegels exercise will help you because it keeps the pelvic tone well. And apparently there are a lot of yoga exercises which do help. So probably, I think the internet's full of a lot of stuff. But genuinely speaking, the will has to be there to, want an orgasm and be there in the moment. And, be confident that you deserve it.
So, Meenakshi, we read, with this topic, we read a lot, but we discuss less. It's like this, we'd read and read and read, but when it comes to actually talking to someone about, even we would not talk to our friends, even good friends, we always hesitate.
Talk to me. There's an issue.
So do you think, you mentioned about this G-spot, is it real key to orgasm or it's just a phantom? I'm just curious to know.
No, there is a G-spot. So there's a very interesting... I don't know whether it's currently now on Netflix or not. There was a very interesting, I think a 5 or 6 season series called Masters of Sex. So it's not about masters of sex. There's someone called Masters, and these are the people who there's a couple who actually discovered the G-spot, and actually so it's the story of how, actually with probes and all and seeing the brain activity, the G-spot was discovered. So yes, it is the elusive G-spot. Some people, like I said, get very good orgasms by changing position while having regular sex, or traditional sex, like I said, while some people may need stimulation of the clitoris. So there is something which is a G-spot. In fact, as a cosmetic gynecologist, we offer O shots and G-spot enhancement for women who may be looking for it for sexual pleasure.
Wow. I'm not even aware.
I didn't know that too. Wow. Great.
That's interesting. We need to talk about that.
So there are injections that we give. There's a proper location and you can see where it is, and it can actually be enhanced also.
Okay.
Wow.
That's news to me. Okay. I thought whatever you have it naturally. What else you can do about it?
If you can get a better smile, better cheekbones, better eyebrows, you can get a better G-spot.
Oh, wow. That's really something.
I've read about anti-aging effects of orgasming every day as well. So
really?
So, yes. So, no, but it's true. So even when you know that I'm president of the Indian Menopause Society, the Delhi chapter. So actually, when we discuss that vaginal health deteriorates because of the thinning of the vaginal mucosa after menopause, women who have sex regularly, orgasm, have a good blood flow to their vagina, and the vaginal atrophy does not occur, which would occur because the blood supply is better. Plus, I think disuse atrophy would occur, and the lining of the vagina actually gets thinner as menopause happens, and then it leads to painful sex. So the best way to prevent painful sex is to have sex regularly.
Wow. Good.
It is anti-aging in that way.
Absolutely.
Because it keeps the vagina healthy.
Yes.
Young.
So medically and locally also the effect is there. And the high one gets, I think it gives you better blood circulation to your brain also, because I think it's important.
Wow. That was such an informative discussion, guys. So I don't know. We want to wrap this up. So today's takeaway is know your body first before expecting it from your partner alone. You should know what gives you pleasure, and don't be afraid to communicate it. It's your right. As soon as women know what their right is, that helps in a relationship. As always, Meenakshi, what a pleasure it is to have you on our show. Thank you so much. Please do keep joining us with vast knowledge and keeping us all informed. And the best part is, if all you viewers have any information, go to Dr. Meenakshi Ahuja. She is so approachable and non-judgmental, which is something that I know us Indian women worry about. Keep up the great work. Doctor.
Thank you so much.
I have
one
to say every time.
I would also like to add is that when you said that discuss with your partner and don't feel shy, I think in a good relationship, it gives your partner also a great high to get you having your orgasm. So it's actually good for his ego also. So it's not just about your ego. It's very important for the male ego that he knows that he can please you and let you have a good orgasm. So don't feel shy at all. It's his right to be able to give you a good orgasm too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, great, Meenakshi. It's always pleasure to talk to you, and every time I see you, my life gets better for some reason. Yes. Well, thank you so much for joining. Okay, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. So that's all on Talk today, and we look forward to hearing from you all. What do you think about today's episode or any other topics you want us to discuss on our show? Please mention in the comment section, or you can email us at hello@talktoustoday.com. And yes, we are also on Spotify, so you can follow our old and new episodes over there. And also to contact Dr. Meenakshi Ahuja, please check out the description below, and we have given all the information about her. Most important thing, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to stay notified of our new videos every Friday at 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us on Talk today. Remember to talk today. Yes. I would be happy to add one thing to our tagline about what we're going to say next. Keep smiling. Keep having sex. Keep
laughing.
Yeah.
Talking.
Yeah, keep talking. Yes.
For yourself, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you so much.
Thank
See you all
Thanks.
next Friday for joining us.
Bye.